last winner, the other winner of the best paper for computer speech and language is automatic speaker age and gender recognition using acoustic and prosthetic level information fusion. The authors are Min Lee, Kim Han, and Shri Narayana. Congratulations. Thank you for your attention and congratulations to all the winners, and I hope that in the future you have a chance to get it.
Okay. End of this section, I'd like to have a call for an announcement about the Christian Benoit Award. Gerard, are you here?
Very quickly, Christian Benoit was a colleague and a friend. He died at 40 years age, 20 years ago. We delivered the first Christian Benoit Prize in 2000. So they have been every 2 years. There is a call for application. So we delivered 9 prizes. The next one will be delivered in Grasse. So feel free, encourage your students, your young researchers to apply. If you have any question, go to the ISCA website or contact me directly. Thank you for remembering.
What section of this closing ceremony? So,
right, we're at the end. So at this point, we'd like to also express our appreciation to the organizing committee and all those involved with the organization of Interspeech 2018. One of the things that is true when we look at the organization of a conference, people can simply say, yes, let's have it in this country. But it takes a lot of tireless, hard work, continuous checking of all the issues that come up for many years and for this to be successful. And so we really want to express our sincere thanks to all the researchers from the country of India for all of the work they've done to make sure that this conference has been such a great success. At the helm of every organization, you must have a leader that understands how to balance, how to motivate, and how to encourage the team that they've put together. And so we'd like to first recognize all of the general co-chairs and the general chair. So first, Yagna, and then I'd like to ask all the general co-chairs to come up. I guess I'll note, when you come to a conference, you simply assume and hope that everything goes smoothly and flawlessly. If everything does, it means that somebody really paid attention to the details, anticipated all the potential problems and issues that may come up, and made sure that there were solutions in place to address those as they may arise. And so I think this is one of the issues, or one of the strengths of this team. They always anticipated, they responded, and took every comment or suggestion that was made and used that to their advantage to be able to come up with solutions that were both creative as well as exciting and enjoyable for our community. So I'd like to next bring up Hema Murthy, Professor Rao, Pavel Alko, and Prasanta, who led the technical program in the review process. So. work in the technical program committee meeting that took place here in May, and the logistics on that were mind-numbing if you can think about more than 5,000 reviews. And so this team worked tirelessly to make sure it was very efficient and effective. Next, again, you can't organize a conference without having someone drive the local arrangements. And I'd have to say that at every step of the way, Sirikanth was always there with a smile and enormous energy. And whatever you asked of him, he snapped and jumped and did everything he could to make sure there was going to be a success. So I'd like to single him out from the local organizing program committee as someone who really put in the extra effort and made sure that this was going to be a success. So if you would come up, please. Well, in addition to the local committee, I'd also like to recognize the contributions that the student SAC committee made. This year we have one of the SAC board members who is retiring, and that person is Ravi Prasad. We'd like him to come up and be recognized. We have two retiring SAC volunteers as well, and I apologize, but I'm not going to be able to pronounce this well. But Contigilios from Sweden and Yaru Wu from France, and both of them were strong contributors during the SAC program. And we'd also like to point out that SAC is looking to recruit at least hopefully 10 new members to participate. So we would encourage you to reach out and participate as a student committee member. I'd also like to recognize one additional person in the SAC, and that is Barak Sisman. She was instrumental in helping organize some of the local activities, including Student Meets the Experts and others. So if, Barak, if you're here, I'd like you to come forward for a moment. The awards program to an end, I guess I would put up this chart, which is all of the countries in the world that have hosted an Interspeech. And this was pre-2018. And now that we've passed this one, we can now add another country to that list. And we hope that future organizers would paint this entire map completely red. I will say, if we're going to go to Antarctica, you need to go in the summertime because there's only 1,500 people there in the summer, and that's the number of people that were at this conference, so we could overtake Antarctica if you wanted to go there. Okay, so in going on, we'll have next, I guess, future interspeeches, so I'll turn the floor over to Sri.
Thank you, John. All right, speech organizers, so that they can have the fun that we had. So we'll start from, in a reverse order, the Interspeech 2021. If you haven't heard, it's going to be in Brno, in the Czech Republic. So Hansa is going to be talking about it. Give me 1 second while I queue up his slides. I got it. All right. Hansa, tell us about Brno.
It's doing nothing for them. it's coming up. So thank you very much, Free, for passing this having fun to us. So Interspeech in 2021 will be in Brno, Czechia, and we are very grateful to ISCA committee for having selected us. The theme of the conference is speech everywhere. So people kept asking us, what is that? Well, let's imagine that we are 3 years from now. So I think that speech, along with vision, brain, lots of word knowledge, will be everywhere. And maybe we will transmit all the information in the form of ad-bendings, who knows. Second point for speech everywhere is that we really believe that we need a better combination of speech sciences and technology. So we are addressing also this. And finally, this English over telephone scenario will be largely obsolete by then. There will be many more environments, languages, dialects, social groups, you name it. So that's all speech everywhere. And this topic will basically drive the selection of invited speakers, special sessions, and so on. Next slides have less text. So the general chairs are Hinek Heřmanský and Honza Černocký. Get used to this special accent over Czech letters, they are important. For TCs, I think we have a very good team of Lukáš Burget, local guy, Emmanuel Dupuy, Laurie Lamel, and Odette Scharenborg. Okay, I got it right, I hope. The team is based on the BUT speech group, but of course we are helped by the people from other speech places in the Czech Republic and also abroad. The place is a bit smaller than this, so it's going to happen at the Faculty of Information Technology of BUT. That is a beautiful combination of a 13th century monastery and some other buildings, and the advantage is that we are very well integrated in the city. There are restaurants immediately available, public transports, etc. The important thing is the costs, so we are trying to get Interspeech cheaper for adults, but especially for students. It's not difficult to get to Brno. You will probably fly to Prague or to Vienna, and from both places there is very good connectivity with buses, trains, and we also count on organizing some shuttles that will be reserved through the registration page. And then actually, we prepared already answers to two very important questions. So the first one is for Shri. Anything to drink in Brno? Well, there is definitely Pilsner, Urquell, and the real Budweiser, but also 450 small breweries in Czech. And that's not all. We are here, and we are sharing a very nice wine region with Austria. And the people in the Northeast Moravia are very good in distillating everything that contains sugar. And just guess where these three regions intersect. And for anything to see there, well, there is not just Prague in Czechia, there is the South Moravia, and we try to prepare some nice stuff. But actually, the journalists from USA Today were faster, and just the day before yesterday, they published this beautiful survey of what to do in South Moravia. So just Google for this article. And I'm finished there. So 2021, see you in Brno. Thank you.
We want to give you a little gift to take good memories from Hyderabad while you prepare for Interspeech in Brno, please. All right. Next, and on behalf of that team, I think Jian Ho, Chow, Helen Meng. All right, Professor Helen Meng and Jian Ho, both of them are coming. Okay, I couldn't see in the dark. Ah, there it is. Okay. Take 1 second for the large video to load.
It's too big.
But you can start speaking. Professor Helen Meng,
Okay, Yuka, you should come up while we're loading the. Yeah. So we're very happy and honored to be able to host.
OA. It's a kind of the World PCO Association. And I think he can got lots of experience with international conference, especially for the Interspeech. And also the convention center is already reserved for the September from 14 to 18 in 2020. And This is also the location that we held for the ICASP. So it's just at the bottom of this is a very beautiful tower in Shanghai. Maybe you have impression of this tower in Shanghai. And this is some pictures of the meeting rooms, and some may be concerning about the hotels. There are some hotels nearby, and there's also many like the youth hotel or some for some young people. Okay. And we also have discussed about the organizing committee. We have made several discussing. Now, currently, we already have a draft list, and we will finalize it very soon. And then we also have some more actions. So the Institute of Automation of CAS, so this is the institute I'm working for. So it's ready for signing a contract with ISCA now. And also the web page will be announced very soon, and you will get it maybe in 2 weeks. And we also have lots of this, promised sponsors. So we already have 15 promised sponsors. So I believe we can have more. And also we have some other details organizing plan has been made. And next, I would like to share some preparing work with a video.
The 21st Interspeech will be held from September 14th to 18th to National Convention Center. It's 110,000 square meters and include the modern conference venues. Besides, there is a top hotel in the multifunctional building that can accommodate all the delegates. What is more, there are also many kinds of hotels around which can meet different accommodation standards. Shanghai is not only China's most important commercial and financial center, but also a tourist city with food culture of all countries in the world. The famous attractions include the Oriental Bureau Radio and TV Tower, the Bund City God Temple of Shanghai, and Shanghai Disney Resort. Besides, there are also many cities which are worth to be visited around Shanghai, such as Hangzhou and Suzhou. Shanghai has 2 international airports and have been navigable to more than 250 cities in the world. At the same time, the traffic network in the airport is densely covered. Passengers can travel to all parts of Shanghai by any means of transportation. The organizers of the conference are making preparations carefully. The organization of the conference is being proceeded in an orderly manner, such as the layout of the venue, hotels, and other places. We sincerely welcome and look forward to your participation in Interspeech 2020. There are still about 740 days left before the conference. Let us look forward to the successful convening of Interspeech in Shanghai in 2020.
Thank you. Welcome to...
From Graz, they already started working, all these people with this fancy white shirt running around and meeting and doing all these things that we were doing last year in Stockholm. So he's going to tell us about... Perfect. I got...
So, still takes a minute to come up. Excellent. Welcome. And welcome to Graz already to all of you here. I've done this 2 times before in San Francisco and Stockholm. So some of you know me already, and some of you maybe have seen this slide that comes next, that gives you an impression of how Austrians like to express their joy. And so the last 2 times the joy was all the dominant emotion. Now slowly some other emotions are creeping in, but I think within a year we will be back to the joyful mode and share it with you. So that's also something you have seen. We are actually now at a very excellent position here in India. right halfway between Austria and Australia. So be sure if you start from here, you go northwest and not southeast, and then you will make it. There's a few other persons we talked about earlier that come from Austria, in particular from Graz, which I skip. The persons you may have seen around here is the core team. Next to myself, there's Zdravko Kacic from Maribor, which is just 50 kilometers from our university in Slovenia. We have Thomas Hein, just a couple of kilometers more in Sheffield as technical program chair, and Björn Schuller in Augsburg and London. Behind these people, there's actually about 30 more in the meantime that are part of our organizing committee, which I will not list all here, but we will later see that some of them can be recognized by the t-shirts that were already alluded to. We have, as a conference theme, the crossroads of speech and language, and you see this actually visualized here in terms of the endorsements we get. Within Graz, actually, we have 4 different universities, not just engineering, but also humanities, medical, and arts, and all of them participate, and that is what we will try to bring into the conference to really have an interdisciplinary approach. Furthermore, we included Slovenia and also the European Council Institute for Modern Languages, which shows that actually Europe is, like India, a culturally diverse, linguistically diverse place, not as many language families as we see here, but with a particular point in space, which is actually the intersection of the Germanic, Romance and Slavic languages, and which is actually at Graz in its very close vicinity, and that gives rise to a lot of interesting questions to be studied at the conference. So, you may ask, is there anything changing in the format compared to previous ones? I just give some ideas we are currently investigating and are close to tying up. We like the format of perspective talks here, and we will try to further develop them into survey papers, where actually we will move them into the oral sessions, assign a larger time slot also for these special talks, and maybe invite them for a special issue of one of our 2 society journals. We think about organizing a hackathon in front of the conference, and the results will be then presented and awarded at the conference itself. So that will be mostly targeting PhD students coming to the conference, but we may also open it locally, because we think it's actually important to show our work to the local communities. So one thing we will do is we will invite high school teachers from Austria and Slovenia to take part in a limited section of the program, just to see what's going on and to kind of be multipliers for the future kids who come to our universities. And for some of you, and a lot of these activities actually will be planned together with the Student Advisory Committee for BISCA, we will look into the need for childcare at these conferences in a sense of a self-organized babysitting co-op, but let's experiment with such ideas and see whether they are beneficial for conference attendees. About the city of Graz, we have also a short movie here that will show you some cultural and touristic highlights. It will also show you the conference center. We start with the capital, Vienna, and Graz is about 200 kilometers from there, within easy reach by train, airplane, or bus, whatever you prefer. But there's also a lot of direct international flight connections that are convenient from major hubs like Frankfurt, Zurich, Munich, Amsterdam, Vienna. So I think it's an easy way to access it. And Graz is a small airport, so you have no delays. You just walk through it. It's quite convenient. So the city center is well preserved as world cultural heritage from the late medieval ages. The conference center itself is just a 50-minute walk or tramway ride from that city center, so that will be convenient for you to explore. And of course, there's food and drinks to explore. As Hansa said already, we share a wine region, we share the love for beer and for many other delights that you can experience when you come to Austria. And here you see some glimpses of the conference center. So actually this big hall will also afford the facilities for the plenaries, and it has also lots of space for exhibition posters and everything else. That will be our highlight for the gala dinner, where we'll say later a few things more. So, coming to the time that we have left, I will actually start now from the back with some important dates. One important event is just on the weekend when we start the conference. The conference starts September 15 on a Sunday with Tutorial Day. But on that weekend, there's also a major folk dance festival in the city of Graz. So if you have interest in such things, just arrive 1 or 2 days earlier and enjoy the public events which are taking place all over the city. 6 weeks before it's the latest, you should have booked your hotels. The city of Graz is a small city with just 250,000 people, so book your hotel early. We have already the booking form online if you want to be very early, but make sure that you are well in advance, because otherwise the hotels will give the rooms to other people. The paper submission deadline is end of March. Keep this in mind. For special sessions and challenges, we are much earlier, because challenges need a lot of preparation. So if you think about both special sessions and challenges, then be sure that in the next 2 months you prepare your submission for that purpose. And I always list also the information that you find otherwise on the web about whom to contact. Satellite workshops are quite special. They should all receive ISCA endorsement, and for that you better start to work now and to get your submissions done to ISCA, because then we can be sure to include them as satellite workshops and also offer you co-registration facilities via our website. Sponsors, I talked to some of you already here, and we will of course not seek just support by all those who sponsored here, but also offer some new opportunities and new sponsors. You will hear more from us very soon. I want, however, to mention that the sponsoring is really not to make money, but it's intended to help all of us to enjoy lower conference fees in particular and still have an excellent program. So we will actually be the first to step down from the typical 590 euros we had about the last 5 years to 560. So that will hopefully ease it on everybody to participate here, including people traveling from far away. Social events. Welcome reception will be in the conference center, which has also some green outdoors. That is nice. On the right upper side, you see the student event, which will take place in a high voltage hall, which is actually the Nikola Tesla lab. Nikola Tesla was a student of our university, one of our most successful students, I have to say, not graduates, because he never graduated. He didn't need that. He just went on and became successful. And the lower picture is from our gala dinner location, which is a concert and ballroom dancing hall that you see here illustrated. And our plan is to actually invite you all to a dancing interspeech soiree. And to show you how this is done in Austria, I have a short video clips from a ballroom event that our university and our students organized since more than 160 years actually. So let's have a look. More diverse and exclusive over these past 160 years. I'm sure they didn't do that in the 19th century in that style. But it should also illustrate to all of you, you don't have to be shy. Everybody can dance, no matter what's your physical condition, no matter what's your prior experience. We will make sure that we have a good teacher that will help you across the initial steps. And with that being said, I think what is left for me is to invite all of you to really make an effort, submit papers, submit special sessions, submit satellite workshops. We want to grow. We want to become the largest Interspeech ever. And I think we are on a good track for that. And to publicize our activities, you have seen already members of the organizing committee running around with our T-shirts. And I will take the pleasure now to also give such a T-shirt to both our president and... So please help. And I may also invite at this point committee who happen to be present to stand up, because most of them should very similar. Thank you.
And here, so good luck. So please go stand there. So to remind you of Hyderabad. This is the first time that you came to India. I hope this will not be the last time. I hope, you really enjoyed this place and, come back again and see this wonderfully rich country, and its culture, and experience other things, beyond multilingual experiences. Personally, for me, this is really satisfying, to be working together back with many colleagues, both across the world, but particularly in India. So it's been wonderful. It was crazy for me to do this after 2016 again. And so thank you again for coming. And I want John to say a few words with his favorite quote, and then I'll ask Yajna to say the final goodbye.
So I'll simply say first, thank you to the entire organizing committee, the students, all the volunteers. You made this a very successful conference. It was something that ISCA had always encouraged, that this conference would come to India, and you've brought this through with the greatest success we could ever hope. As Gandhi noted, live as if you were to die tomorrow, learn as if you were to live forever. A couple more parts here. We hope you've enjoyed your experiences here at Interspeech, that you've learned, engaged, and inspired others. And finally, stay safe, healthy, and until we see you in Graz, Austria next year. Okay.
This event, a grand success. We all hope you will have a very safe trip back. Thank you once again. Bye.
So I wanted inspiring and leading speech research in India for a long time, and and bringing Interspeech here. Thank you, Ignav, on behalf of all of us. And it's very appropriate. Yesterday was Teachers' Day, and he was, we were happy to celebrate him. And safe travels, good luck, and see you in Graz. Bye bye.